It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. You know I can be found sitting on the morning
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Time I took office, we had a one-year deficit of over $1 trillion and projected deficits of 8 recognized relationships between 2 men or 2 women.
At what point does a baby get human rights?
Answering that question is above my pay grade.
It's all about the cheddar, the cheese.
Baby daddies, watch out, baby mamas, I say.
You know what I mean?
Don't you give up when shit don't change.
Don't give up, play on, player.
Watch out.
She's 20-something years old, living on welfare. She don't care whether or what people out there talk about this and that. Shh, don't even go there. Oh yeah.
Why is it that society refuses to acknowledge that unless a man explicitly agrees to be a father before conception, he's been hijacked?
It's far beyond anything the mafia ever did.
I've been called a liar, a loser, a deadbeat, a sperm donor.
They came and took my kids, I went to jail. The child support system can be so detrimental that it causes death.
I love them unconditionally, and I didn't really believe what they were saying about me.
Where are these people all getting these money from? I mean, are they just milking the dads dry now? Is that what it is?
Still can't believe what you're seeing, what you're hearing. Your mother thought you knew the whole story until your mama took it on Maury. Read your test results.
The problem is, in this country, a young woman can go and find a man of means in money and force him into parenthood and then begin to collect vast amounts of child support when they've never put forth any effort to make an earning or a living of their own.
I'm the woman of their dreams.
So tell us about your manhood.
Well, what are you looking for? A man with working sperm that can impregnate me. The number one thing.
They're trying to lock on to somebody who's stable and can pay some bills around this motherfucker, because they're not going to do it. They gotta make sure they
Westchester. I never thought I would say that, but that's really what the fuck I want. I want my house in Westchester, pick out all my own tile, have a walk-in closet, but the man also has to be interested in tantric sex, of course.
Thinking about yourself. Or the women out there that they're dating a man and he got money, right? And they think I'm gonna have his baby. Stop thinking about you. What about the baby? What if he don't stay with you? What if he just kick your ass to the curb?
These are these rubber pants that are very successful for most and women. But the problem with the rubber pants is that it does connote some kind of major sleaziness, which is not really what I'm after. You know what I mean? But you can see. The only problem is you can see the actual dimples on my butt if you get in the right light.
Hopefully he's aware that. Be careful if you have sex with a girl. Make sure you have a condom. Never trust that she's on birth control, because you could be screwed up for a long time otherwise if she hits a jackpot with you. And
unilaterally decide whether or not they're going to have a baby or kill it. The justification for passing a law that I'm speaking of is this: since a woman has the right to decide whether or not she's going to have a baby or kill the baby, then a man should have the right to decide whether or not he's going to pay to support that child or not. If the playing field were made level, I promise you, you would see a drop in the illegitimacy rate.
Since it's totally the woman's decision to have the child, the consequences of having that child must also rest upon the woman. So if a woman actually wants to follow through with her pregnancy after getting fair warning from the guy that he wants no part of it, then the woman must make a rational or logical decision whether she wants to continue through with her pregnancy.
Men do not make single mothers. Single mothers make themselves. The epidemic of single motherhood is almost entirely due to women's choices to bring children into the world with little concern as to whether their children's fathers will play any role in their children's lives.
Why? No one has any illusions then. Amy, if they catch my butt, they see it, what it really is, they see it, the whole corpus, then they're not like waiting to unveil something and have some concept. They got it. I mean, this is how women are going to bars now. They're sitting like this. You sit like this, and I didn't even have any underwear on. You're sitting like this, and it's ridiculous. And I feel a little bit like a fraud.
Perhaps you should just show a little more of that.
Women have all the reproductive freedom, if you think about it. They can take a pill, which is like 99.99% effective. Basically, if a woman's on the pill and gets pregnant, it's not an accident. It's by design. And so a woman...
I did get pregnant on purpose, and I...
Wait, you didn't just do it on purpose. You did it on purpose and without somebody's knowledge.
Exactly. And
well, here's the deal. It's not so much a matter of beating you over the head. Here's what I want to know. What made you think that was a good idea? Like, what made you think that would work out?
I was trying to save my relationship with this person. I had moved from Tucson up to Carson City, Nevada, and things weren't working out very well. I was very young. I was 22, I think, at the time. And I thought that basically it would make him make a commitment to me. His brother was getting married, and the girl that he was with, she was pregnant. And I guess I just, I was in love with him, and I thought that,
You thought that deceiving him would be a good way to keep him.
Right, and there's...
I was being facetious, and you said, yes, right. That's what I'm saying. It's like, if you're in love with somebody, why would you think that deceiving them would be a way to strengthen your relationship?
Birth control pill being tested at the Population Center for Research in the University of Washington in Seattle. And basically, it's a testosterone capsule that they put in your skin. They inject it into your skin. Now, this is a good thing. And if approved, I think every man should get one. And here's why. Just follow me, pay attention. Every man should take this. Here's why. Number one, it eliminates the baby mama. Okay? If you poll 100 men and you ask them what is the biggest mistake in their life, they're going to say, quote unquote, sleeping with that woman.
The problem we have in this country today is unwed births. Yet our government has consistently encouraged that over a number of decades. And if anyone was to suggest that it was wrong to have a child outside of marriage, if a teacher did, she'd probably lose her job. If a school told a teacher she couldn't teach if she was in that condition, they would be sued. You can't say something is wrong that we spend $150 billion a year on just for the children, assisting the children of unwed births, and that doesn't begin to count the cost of our total failure in education is related to that exact same thing.
Male birth control pill yet. Women have all sorts of birth control options. They've got the pill, they got the patch, they've got the ring they shove up in their cooter, they've got injections they can take. Look at all, they got dozens of different types of each one of those variations of birth control. Men have no kind of medication or anything like that that works in a similar fashion for us.
So little bit of research is going into, so little bit of money for research and so forth is going into male forms of birth control. Every year it seems to be that they say, oh well, reliable birth control for men is about a year out. Every year they say that, and they've been saying that for 4 years that I've been trying to keep up with it. And it never comes out. It never does.
Almost 40 years now, saying that, oh, we're working on a pill for guys and this and that. And every time I go take a look at it, they always say, oh, we're about 5 years away from perfecting the medication or something like that. And they always say, oh, 5 years away. And they've been saying that since the early 80s. Oh, it's just 5 years away, right around the corner. I'm like, oh, great. Sounds fucking fantastic. And other than waiting for birth control to come out, only real option guys have is abstinence, which sucks. Nobody wants that shit. Or you can get a vasectomy. Oh, that's right. You can go to the doctor, have them cut on your sack. That sounds like a great day to me. Oh yeah, bring on the scalpel, motherfucker. No, how about no?
I think this Time Magazine article, I mean, they talk to the representatives, and off the record, is basically just political reasons they don't develop the male birth control pill, because the technology is pretty much there. So why wouldn't they do it? Because, you know, most guys that I would know would love such an option like that. But I think the reason is most feminists and a lot of women are against the concept. Because if you think about it, if a man has a pill like a woman, that means he's able to control a lot of his fertility, reproductive rights.
Child support, and of course, he denied the paternity, and but it came back that he was the father, which he was, and Did
you ever think about the fact first you deceived him, and now you take money from him?
Yeah, I know, I do.
And you feel good about that?
I needed to help raise this kid. No, I don't think it's right. No, I don't think it's right.
But it didn't stop you from going to court and getting the money?
I think partially way back then, to just tell you how, it was kind of a revenge thing, because
17% of $38,500 means you are living with your grandmother again. Do you understand that? You're back in apartment 4B with grandma, and you're stepping over on the way back home from work.
When you were out there just thinking about getting this man, or fucking him, or just fucking him just to be fucking him, not using no birth control, no protection, and got your ass pregnant, and here you are with that baby. And the baby want to know who their father is, and some of you can't even tell them who the fuck their father is. You can't even tell them, some of you. Just fucked up.
To put unmarried women in the same category as women who are married is a faulty system, because it suggests that you're giving them the ability to maintain a lifestyle that they never had to begin with. It's time for us to separate out people who get pregnant, sometimes through means of trickery or other fraudulent acts, to force someone into parenthood, and suddenly they attach to this person's pocketbook for years and years to come. I don't think we've got this right.
Why is it that society refuses to acknowledge that unless a man explicitly agrees to be a father before conception, he's been hijacked?
It's totally the woman's decision to have the child. The consequences of having that child must also rest upon the woman.
Once again, they're trying to lock on to somebody who's stable and can pay some bills around this motherfucker, because they're not going to do it. They got to make sure they have some guy.
I've seen her take birth control every single day at the same time every day for a month straight. Have you really seen that? If not, you really can't know.
Men do not make single mothers. Single mothers make themselves.
And guys, we got to get over this mentality. We got to get over this mentality that women are just these goddesses, just these ethereal beings that are just so far up on a pedestal. Like, we gotta knock that fucking pedestal down, fucking lumberjack that hoe, because women don't need to be up on a pedestal.
17% of $38,500 means you are living with your grandma. You understand that? You're back in apartment 4B with grandma, and you're stepping over on the way back home from
The
work.
socioeconomic problem we have in this country today is unwed births. Yet our government has consistently encouraged that over a number of decades.
If you're not married and you get pregnant, tough shit. You don't get child support. That would cure a lot of the unwed problems right off the bat there, I'll tell you that.
That's why you have some of these kids thinking it's normal not to get married and shit. And they repeat that same cycle. Just because your mother wasn't married don't mean you should not be married. Yeah, because there's something missing. And having a father is important. It is important.
Watch out.